We play.
We fight.
We conquer.
Welcome to the Freak Show. I am your host, BUMPY-MCSQUIGUMS, and today I am going to be diving into Manifold Garden. It is by William Cheer's Studio, and it released onto Steam on October 20th, 2020. And it is a game that I have had the pleasure and privilege of being able to stream live on the Steam store page as part of my work with the Indie Brothers and working with the developer and all of that wonderful fun stuff with this game. So I'm letting you guys know right up front that I really like this game. I think it's fantastic, and I want to share it with you guys, but it's also a game that I have worked on. So be aware of that. I'm not trying to hide anything from you guys. There's no ulterior motives here. If I work on something and I happen to really enjoy it, I will always try to share it with you guys here on the channel. So be aware of that. Anyway, this is a game that just kind of blew my mind from beginning to... I haven't beaten it yet, so there's still some time to learn and find some new stuff. But I have played a good portion of it, and I've even had the developer joining me in those streams. I got to see behind the veil a little bit, behind some of the development processes and ideas and concepts and such. So I've had a really good time doing this stuff, and like I said, I wanted to share it with all of you. That being said, let us hop in, let us begin. We're going to go with a new game, and we're going to go down here to the empty save. Now, I will say, watch this first episode, and if you guys like what you see, and you think you're going to want to play it, don't watch any more of my episodes before you go and you play the game for yourselves, because I don't want to rob that new fresh experience for you. I don't want to solve things. I don't want you guys to know exactly how to do stuff. I want you to be able to find your way through it before you come back and rewatch and watch the series and see how I've come up with different ways to solve things. So it's an experience you should absolutely go through. If you're interested in the game and you want to play it, you should get it, and don't watch any other videos after this one. So let this one be kind of a way of gauging and judging whether this is something you're going to be interested in or not. Visually, it's awesome. The sound design is fantastic. The soundtrack is really good. Like, I am a big fan of this game. So, just, again, I'll try not to keep harping on stuff like that, but just throwing that out there. Yes, it is a game that I have worked on and done stuff with. Not like I went in there and programmed or coded stuff. You understand. Anyway, Indie Bros work. So, here we are. It does have full controller support. You can plug and play whatever you want to go. You can pick up your PlayStation controller, run around with the PlayStation controls, put it down, pick up your Xbox controller, run around, put it down, and pick up your keyboard and mouse, and then put them back down on the desk, because it's really hard to pick up a keyboard and mouse and use them. But you can switch, basically, into any different combination of controls and seamlessly. And if you haven't done something on one type of control scheme, it will still bring up those button prompts to tell you how to do it. So like if I bump my controller right there, you saw L and R popped up. That's to look around and to move, which is the same as WASD plus your mouse. So here we are. There is a glass floor or a window on the floor. There's a staircase that leads to nowhere. And there's apparently something on the ceiling, a button and like a door. So I will explain some of the stuff. I'm going to try not to be overly analytic or like, oh, this is super easy, this is how you do it. I'm going to play through. I'm just going to have some fun. I'm going to enjoy myself. I hope you guys are along for the ride. I will explain things as best I can, so at least you grasp the concept of the game. But short of that, I'm just going to have some fun. So just listen real quick, right? We're going to walk on the ground. Okay, now listen to when we walk on the glass. Very musical, very cool. I like it a lot. All right, so they want us to walk over to a wall. So a lot of people will walk over to the stairs like, what do I do? And it tells you either hit spacebar or right mouse button, and all of a sudden you're on the wall, not on the floor anymore. So first thing you kind of need to do is get the concept of floor, ceiling, walls, and stuff out of your head, because this is all about changing gravity. A lot of folks have joked through the Steam streams that they should make a DLC, or their second game should rename this Gravity Ninja, which is pretty funny, and it would be pretty accurate. So, there's no jump, there is gravity changing, and it's a bunch of puzzles, and it's just, there's a lot of beauty and just awesomeness to this game. So Right now we're on the blue gravity. There's 6 different colors. You can change it. There's a colorblind mode for anybody who is curious. And you can change it to various different settings. And then you can also go with the default, or you can turn colorblind mode off, or you can actually go and preview what they're going to look like in these various different ones, and then you can modify them however you want. So you can find a color scheme that works for you. Being able to differentiate the different colors is incredibly important. So I'm going to just go with the default because it's what I'm used to, and hopefully it's all good for you guys. But they added that actually just before release. That's one of their latest things that they added, and it's a really cool feature. And again, it helps make the game accessible to everyone, right? You want the game to be, able to be played by anyone, whether they have, slight color blindness or whatever the case is. So, cool things there. So, we have blue gravity over here. We have the purple gravity. I'm just going to stay on the blue one for right now. So, we have purple on that wall. We'll just use wall for now. Orange on this wall. There's going to be green on this one. And on this back one will be yellow. And then up top there is going to be red. You can see it by the button. And if I was close enough to the wall, my reticle, my little dot in the center, would turn red. Just like it turns purple when I look at this wall. So, you can change gravity onto any surface that you can just like literally walk up to and put like your foot on down at the bottom. So, from purple to green to orange to yellow. And then we can go to red as well. So, when you do that, we're actually changing the entire world. The whole world is interconnected. So when I'm changing gravity here, I'm changing it everywhere else in this entire world. So that's something to be aware of. And you'll see later on, you can like lock yourself out of things and whatnot doing so. But we're on the red plane of gravity. So, like I said, don't think of stuff as like the floor, the ceiling, or whatever. I mean, you can sort of in certain rooms, but it's better if you start getting ideas of like, we're on the green plane of gravity. We're on the orange plane of gravity. We're on the red plane of gravity. So just kind of think of it that way. I'll probably still slip up and say floor and ceiling, but we'll see. Anyway, you walk up to something for the first time. If it's a new interaction, a new keyboard control, shortcut, mouse, whatever it is, it will pop up telling you how to do it. But that's it. That's literally all the direction, all the advice, all the storyline, everything. That's it. It's just a few little pop-ups that explain kind of, hey, if you do this, something will happen. So we press the button, the door opened, and now we can go kind of take a different view and look outside into the lovely world. Now, at a distance, stuff will be like almost like stenciled in or like sketched looking. So they look kind of see-through. You just see like the outlines and everything else. But as you get closer, when you get closer to things, they actually kind of fill in and the shades come in. And it also depends on what gravity you're on, too. Like how things look when you get closer to them. Anyway. You can hold shift and sprint, and apparently, again, we can walk on this thing, make the cool sounds. But yes, you can gravity shift onto glass. You can even gravity shift onto the button if you were so inclined. But here's the thing to note. If this is a purple button, which it is, and you want to press it, you have to be on the same plane as the color of the thing. So right here, we're on the purple plane, we can press the button. We can actually turn it back off as well. But say we moved over here onto this plane, I can't interact with the button. That is one of the very basic mechanics, something you need to get your head around immediately. Alright, welcome to our first real puzzle. We have a yellow square up there. There's clearly a door that we need to go through. And there looks like there's only one thing we can interact with here, so by process of elimination, we're going to go press the button that opens the door. On the green gravity over here, looks like we've got a cube on the ceiling or on the yellow plane. We have a cube on the red plane, and we know from this room we need that yellow button pressed. So, again, you can only interact with stuff that's on the same plane as it is. So this is red. If we're on the orange, we can't do anything with it. So, just be aware of that. This should be pretty obvious. Put the cube on the button, or the switch, the door opens, so on and so forth. So, we come grab the yellow one, bring it over to the yellow switch, and boom. Bob's your uncle, we're ready to go. See, doesn't it look cool? Doesn't it look cool out there? As far as the eye can see and even further into the distance, these things run. And now we're on a different plane. So instead of having the verticality that we're used to looking at, we're on this plane and we're seeing it from the side. So again, the whole world, depending on what gravity you're on, changes to that gravity. Cool concept, really cool game. Like I said, I really enjoyed my time with it. I was incredibly daunted. I will share my initial thoughts. I saw this was a game that was something that we had that we had picked up, that it was going to be one of the clients that we were going to have for Indie Bros. And I was looking at it, I was like, ooh, that looks so cool. But oh man, I don't think I'm going to be able to get my head around that. This is going to crush me and make me feel real dumb. And I'm sure there's going to be points where I feel real dumb in this, but I was very daunted. And then I was like, they were like, hey, you're going to stream this. I'm like, oh no. Okay. Yeah, no, that's cool. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go into it blindly. I'm going to tell people I'm going into it blindly, and we're going to see what happens. And I did. I went into it without even launching the game before that. I played around with some of the settings, launched the game, and just went for it. And it was great. Love that sound. It was great. I just had such a good time with it. So here we are. Okay, so continuing our adventure. Making our way down the corridors. I know, I want to get outside too. It makes me very sad that we're stuck inside these confines here, but... See? So we're a little bit closer to this structure right here. You can see the little red tint there, and it's a little bit more filled in than, say, the one back there. So, yeah. Yeah, I love the way that is, like, their art style, right? Like, further away, the less detail you get, and it kind of looks like it's less and less. Like, you can see to the left there. I can't really look at it. As soon as I look at it, it fades. But on the left-hand side, you can see one that's just barely there, and it gets more and more faded, or there's less and less detail as you get closer to it. So when you're looking at something straight on, you have a little bit worse vision than you do on the periphery. Kind of almost like your eyeball itself. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm sure a lot of you do. When you're looking directly straight on, especially in low light, you have a hard time seeing because your optic nerve, I think, is actually in the way. So sometimes you have to move your eye a little bit left or right, and you can kind of see something there, but if you stare directly at it, you won't be able to see it. I don't know if that has anything to do with the choices they made for their optics in this game, but that's kind of how the eye works. You can see a little bit better, not directly straight ahead, a little bit further, because, again, your vision's not blocked. All right, so we're up to our first real puzzle. The other one was just kind of game mechanics stuff, and this is still game mechanics stuff, but... there's some issues. The thing I want to draw your attention to is, you see that arrow right there? It's showing you that, like all the ones that we've had before, essentially we'd pick up whatever colored block and put it on there. And there was no symbol on there. But this one with the symbol, that means that in that direction is the gravity of whatever color this is. So this happens to be blue. So when we're here, the gravity is on this. This is the plane that we need to be standing on. And this is where the block's going to be. So we put it up here, right? And it's just going to stick to it. Except it's not, because there's gravity, right? So, I mean, you can see, you can like go, oh, well, it's just a time thing. No, you can't. So obviously you're going to need to put something there to stop it from falling. So another thing that's really cool, people don't grasp right away, and I'm trying to explain it to you guys so you understand, is that once you change gravity, you can, I already showed you, you can no longer interact with stuff, but it's frozen in place at that point. So ordinarily, you're like, okay, so the green, it's there, we moved it. If we would go here and we turn gravity on to this, that should mean that this block would fall, but it's actually locked in place due to the gravity that it was on before. I may be explaining things slightly wrong or a little bit off, but hopefully it makes enough sense. If you guys have questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them. And if I can't answer them myself, I'm apparently a multiple person. I can't get a hold of the developers, and they can answer them themselves. That's where I was trying to go. But apparently I'm more than one person. It's fine. Bam. Alright, it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, we have a tree. It grows fruit, and we're now able to go outside and experience the outside world. So these cubes that are on the tree, you see when you pull them off that they regrow. You can move these around, but here's the thing to note. They regrow only as a point of reset. So if you take one down and you're like, oh, I'm just going to grab this, it's just going to pick up the one that you had. Now the way to differentiate between the two that you're using is this one is powering the door right now, keeping it open for us. You see this one's brighter, this one's in use, this one's in like powered up mode. So if you pull this one out, it's going to close the door and take the cube out of this. So good times. All right, welcome to the world at large, ladies and gentlemen. We are out of our little test chamber, and we are here. We are eager. We are excited. We are daunted by the sheer size and volume of everything around us. All these places off in the distance, just you don't know what's going on. It's very daunting. You see right there that there's another one of those switches, just like we did over here. That's clearly going to open that door, but how do you get there? That's the question, right? So initially, I kind of started to explore around as soon as I came out. I didn't have this cube with me, and I tried to get there from like climbing on this building structure on the backside. It just never really worked. And then I was like, well, maybe I can switch gravity and fall over there. And that is actually something that you can do, and I'm going to give it a shot. But there's a problem when you do that. So there we are. We have fallen over there. The cube I need is over there. So this doesn't help me as much as you would think it would. I did not know if that would work. That's really cool. So here's our conundrum. How do we get the cube from here over there? And there's no real easy answer. I mean, you could try to maybe throw it, you know, like but there's no forward momentum. You see, we just dropped it off the thing, and it's never going to be seen again. So, huh. Well, that's interesting. Uh-oh. Oh, we gonna die? Oh, we're not gonna die? Aw. Yeah, so, funny story. The game infinitely loops in and on to itself like a crazy thing. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. So, it's gonna continue to fall forever. We could fall forever. I would like to see if we can get a view. So, check out the right-hand side of the screen there. See the cube's falling, it's falling, it's falling. Now, check the top. You can still see it at the bottom. There's two instances of it. So, between that building up there, and that building right there, that's the same building. It's just falling constantly, continuously falling. And we can even fall this way if we wanted to. And go right next to this thing. And it's pretty cool. Now, there are a couple things you can notice as you're falling indefinitely to these various different places. There's going to be some super secret hidden things that I'm going to show you guys. I'm not going to show you how to get into these right now because my objective on this day is not to do that. My objective on this day is to kind of, if I run into anything that I have not experienced before, I am going to share it with you guys, but if I have seen something before, I am not going to share that with you. So be aware of that. Alright. So I managed to get onto the side of the stairs I wanted to get on. So you take a look right here. There's this shadowy, dark blob stuff here that we can't seem to get through. Now, I know how to do this. I'm not going to do it, but I know how to do this right now. And it leads to a secret. And if I recall correctly, which I don't because my brain already hurts from the chicanery that we've already done. How do I get there? I feel like I go up. There it is. Okay. So, here is basically the exit point for that, but there's some stuff you can do in there. You can skip a big portion of the game as well. It's pretty cool. I did not mean to fall there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get back on the correct side of this place. And there's a bunch of different ways to do it. I'm just going to run it because I can. So, essentially, we have a small problem right now. And that small problem is our cube is falling and falling and falling. Now, the developers were kind enough to give us the ability to fall slightly faster than the cube itself does. So we will always be able to catch a falling cube. I like how it somehow clips the thing every time it falls, goes by, but it doesn't actually. Alright, so we have the cube. And now we're going to fall over here and slam dunk that on in there. Open the door, and we are ready, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to go. Alright, so let's enter this new place. I'm going to be quiet, let you guys take it all in. It's really cool. I like it a lot. It is daunting, it is scary, it is spooky, it is awesome, it is beautiful. Another thing to be aware of, there is kind of a straight through path that you can take in the game that will lead you through basically a good portion of the puzzles and things. But there are several secrets, even things that will be in plain sight that you're like, how do I get there? And you're going to have to go and look around. Apparently, somewhere in this giant room, there's a secret. I have yet to find it yet, but somewhere in this room, there's a secret. And if you're diligent enough to go look in all the nooks, the crannies, and whatnot, you can find said secret. I am not going to look through it at this point. But it's there. I will one day go and find it, but not now. That day is not today. Alright, so we're going to step on forward, and we're going to look around at this new area that we've come into. By the way, I want to point this out. So you see this giant area that we just walked into and we walked out of, right? Really cool. So we walk out here, again, the world's all interconnected, so it makes sense. Except there's some weird stuff going on. So inside this very tiny room is all of this. So again, your mind is blown. I know, like I told you guys, this is just a gorgeous, breathtaking, mind-bending. It's a really, I like it. I like it. That's why we're here today, guys and gals. All right. So here's some stuff I'd like to point out. All right. So you look over here, right? Everything is locked into place. Everything, you know, solid, sharp corners, looks tight. All that stuff, right? Then you come over to this weird cube that has this black aura, and you get closer to it. And then you sit here and you look, and there's movement on all the structures. All the things when you move forward, there's like a little bit of like warping, and you hear that chittering sound. You see like the blocks are moving. They're not like quite stationary. So this block clearly is emitting some sort of power, some sort of energy. And it's got that black aura around it, that dark aura. And then all around this area, there's what they call the corruption or the ooze. That's the smoggy looking stuff. As you walk to it, it kind of disperses, but it comes back, which is pretty cool. So we're going to have to figure out a way of unlocking this powerful cube. And as you can see here on the floor, these are like those little power conduits. Once you put a button on a switch or whatever, or sorry, a block on a switch, it powers the conduit, comes down here, will light this up and all that stuff. So it looks like this one has 3 different power things that are needed. So clearly that side's the most corrupted, so it looks like it's all interconnected. So we'll come here last on that side. We're going to go this way to begin. So we're going to come over here and we're going to go down the stairs. And what we're basically going to do, and over the next few minutes, is probably get through 2, maybe even 3 of these, and then we're going to break it off. And like I said, guys and gals, if you like what you see and this is something that you're interested in and you want to grab it and you want to play it, I highly recommend that you wait to watch any more videos. Go play it for yourself and then come back and watch the videos, because it's just a really cool game, and I would hate to spoil the mystery, the majesty, and the excitement that you'll have playing the game for the very first time. Alright, so we come over here, we see there's this cool structure here. It looks really awesome, but you don't really know what's going down. You don't know what's up right now. There's something here, you gotta get a... It's yellow. You have to get a yellow cube, which is clearly right in here. You have to get a yellow cube and stick it in here to do whatever's going to happen. It's going to power whatever this building, this structure is. So the only way to get the yellow cube is to go through the little dungeon here, or whatever. And we're going to go in here. It looks like the next way forward is on the ceiling, or the green plane as it were. And we're going to move forward. And that's what the level looks like from a specific angle here. It looks pretty cool. It's just a big old diamond. Alright, so we're going to go here. Now, this isn't going to change anything that we don't already know. This is just reasserting certain ideas and concepts, things that we've already learned. So essentially what we need to do, we saw the yellow switch up there. We have to put the yellow cube on the yellow switch. Seems simple, seems easy. Seems like we should be able to do it, except we can't reach it. So we've already learned that we can place a shelf of some sort, and we can put the cube on the shelf, and then we can go and recover the cube on the other side, and it's fine. So this is just reinforcing mechanics that we already know. So no game-breaking thing there, nothing really new or exciting, just a way to traverse the obstacle. Dunk. Love it. So then we come over here, and I think that's it. So that was just a quick kind of a, hey, this is kind of how this whole area is going to go. We're going to introduce you to something that you know or something that you don't know, and then we're going to compound upon it. In this case, it was, you know, the original puzzle was the green block on the wall, and we had to put the blue cube on top of the green block to make sure that it would power the door from earlier. This time it was, hey, you can also traverse gaps and canyons and stuff by doing the same thing. Placing a block on another block, going over the obstacle, and getting it from the other side. Alright, we're going to drop on down. There is no fall damage, by the way, if you guys are worried. That is not a thing that you have to worry about. So fall to your heart's content, fall with grace, fall with purpose, fall with meaning. If you're ever stuck, don't go and start changing gravities a billion times over. Find a gravity that you're set on and start falling and looking around and see if you can glean some insight that way. Alright, and boom. Take a look, and that just kind of jumped out, and it shoots a laser. Apparently, laser power is what we're going to be powering up over on that side, which is very, very cool. Okay, so maybe you're like, taking the stairs takes so long. I'm going to jump a little bit further on the stairs. You can do that. You can jump a little bit further on the stairs and get yourself to where you want to go. That actually almost looks like a church. There's like a little bit of a cross piece up there. That would actually kind of look like a chapel. Alright, so onward to the next. We've dealt with the yellow side. We're going to go deal with the red side now. And then we'll probably save the green side. I think that's what's next. Until the very next episode. So there you have it. Looks like, again, kind of the same layout. Get onto the ceiling of the building that you walk into, onto the blue side this time around, and continue our adventure. Alright, I'm going to show off a little bit, but I will also show you how to do this right the first time. And basically, this is to let you know there is no color that this is locked to. It has no color, it has no gravity preference, but it's also locked in place and cannot be moved. This is to teach you a new trick. See, you can't interact with the button. You can't interact with the button. You can go to the green side. You can't interact with the button. You have to be on the blue side. So, you can stand on cubes that are placed, and you are then on the correct gravity. Alright, guys and gals, sorry about that. I had to do some testing here because I wasn't sure if it was working, and I just realized I was doing the wrong thing the whole time. So the other way you can do this is not the recommended or ideal way of doing this. You basically go and you gravity change as you fall. You can actually end up standing on top of the button. It doesn't like it. As you can see, I'm kind of bouncing on the button. It's wiggling and jiggling, and it's a very, very, very unhappy. But there we go. For whatever reason, for some reason, and I don't understand why, I kept left-clicking instead of right-clicking to change my gravity orientation when I got to the top. And I kept falling off like that. I didn't press a button there, but that's another way you can do it. That's just, it's a silly little thing that I played around with and I tried and it worked, and I was really happy that it worked. So you can actually stand on the button itself, turn stuff on and off. But the whole point of this, guys and gals, is to learn that you can stand on cubes and use that to trigger the effects. So, cool stuff all around. Really, really like the fact that you get some extra options and things that you can do. There's more than one way to solve some of the puzzles. It's pretty cool. Alright, so here we are. We've learned about cube standing. We learned originally that you can stand on a cube. Then we were able to actually move a cube around to stand on it to press a button. And now we're going to have to use that to effect once more. And this is going to be a combination thing here. So we're going to learn how to use cubes and standing on them and all that, and gravity changing and whatnot. So we have a green gravity button here, a green button that has gravity down this side. Again, you can tell by the arrow, it points at it. And we need to get that up there. Unfortunately, we're nowhere near being able to reach from here. So we still need the shelf, that's why there's 2 red blocks. And we need the other one to kind of, you know, work as maybe a buffer, if you want to call it something. And I have the green cube too far away, so let's get the green cube a little bit closer. So we can stand on it, we can pick it up from down there, we can put it up here, and that will at least trigger the green one. Or Alternatively, you can do something like this. Like, I found 3 different ways that I can do this. Put this on your head, and then it'll push you off. Or if you're standing on there correctly, which I don't think I was. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. Like I said, I will have some fun with this and show you guys a few different ways to do stuff. So there, it's above me. As soon as I walk off, it's going to fall into place. And then the final way to do it is something like this. It can grab on at 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%. So you can actually put it all the way over at 25%. It will latch on. You can go over here and make yourself like a little step, and you're right next to it, and you can pick it up and put it up there. Like I said, there's multiple different ways that you can go about getting this done. We changed gravity. It's now locked in place. We can use whatever cube we want. And the door opens. Now, the thing to remember is if we take this cube away, the red one that was there, this one, if we take that away, if we go out of this room, and again, this shows off the fact that all of the gravities are the world is all interconnected. So if we change to green gravity right now, this door is going to close and lock on us. We won't be able to get back into this room. So, take a look. It fell down. Even if we go back to red, it's not going to jump back up to that spot. Gravity is all throughout the entire level, everything that we do. This is a good sound. This is a really satisfying sound too. Ready? Good times all around. Alright, I don't actually need the red block, so I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to plummet down here. I'm going to grab 1 cube, 2 cubes. We're going to go place this in position, and we're going to watch the laser once more. And good times. So we have a yellow laser coming from over there. We have a red laser coming from here. And next we're heading over to the green side. I'm going to do the same fall trick I did last time, but I'm not going to catch the stairs this time. I'm going to fall once, and then I'm going to fall a second time. And I'm going to loop myself right into where I need to be going. Which is right here. Trigger that, get on to the other side, open this up. And this is going to be where I break off the episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed this first episode. I'll probably do this maybe like a once a week thing and just slowly play through it and let you guys experience it and enjoy it. I really hope you guys like the game. I had a blast being able to be a part of the launch and everything else. It's done phenomenally well too, by the way, guys and gals. So a big shout out and congratulations to William Cheer Studio for, doing so well on the Steam launch and release of the game. It's really, really good to see. It was really encouraging. Anyway, folks, that's it for now. If you want more information about the game, where to get the game, information on the developer, or any of that wonderful fun stuff, check out the description down below. It'll have all the relevant links and things in there. Do the YouTube stuff, subscribe, share, all that thing. You know the score, guys and gals. Till the very next episode, I have been your host, BUMPY-MCSQUIGUMS. Thank you so much for stopping by the Freak Show, and always remember, we play, we fight, we conquer.